We brought together 12 women with thinning hair to talk about women's hair loss. And did they talk?
It's just very embarrassing to me.
People do go out of their way to embarrass you too.
It makes me real self-conscious.
It's just totally embarrassing to me. We don't go out that much.
Then we told them about a new solution.
The name of this new solution is the Graduated Enhancement Method. The Graduated Enhancement Method adds just as much hair as you need, no more and no less.
And then we demonstrated how it works by doing 3 makeovers. What was the group's reaction?
Oh, you look, that's fabulous.
Oh my.
Looks perfectly natural. Beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
The Graduated Enhancement Method has a solution for your particular hair loss problem. What kind of reactions would you get with the Graduated Enhancement Method? To get a better idea, call for a free information packet day or night. Call EHR Center at 1-800-625-4240. That's 1-800-625-4240. We brought together a dozen women with hair loss to show them a new solution to their problem. We demonstrated it with 3 makeovers. What were the reactions?
Looks beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
They're raving about the Graduated Enhancement Method. Forget wigs, forget hair extensions. Graduated Enhancement adds as little or as much human hair as you need. Beautifully. Call for the free information packet. Call EHR Center any time of day. 1-800-625-4240.
Today, we live in an age where no subject is taboo. Everything is fair game for discussion, certainly judging by what we see in magazines and newspapers, and especially those daytime TV talk shows. But you know what? Despite all this openness, there is one subject, one area that you almost never hear a word about. And that's going to be the topic of our discussion on today's edition of What About? What about women's hair loss? Hi. My name is Cheryl Harris, and today on What About, we're going to ask the question, what about women's hair loss? You're going to meet women who suffer from hair loss and hear their views on the subject in an incredible group discussion. Now, I promise it will be unlike anything you have ever heard before. Did you know that over 20 million American women, half of them under 40 years old, suffer from excessive hair loss and balding? Now, that's a lot of people for something so rarely discussed. So today, we're going to open the subject up with real women sharing real stories. But more than just have women talk about their hair loss, in this show, we're also going to explore an exciting new solution, a very viable alternative that is tremendously promising. So, if you're a woman who's suffering from hair loss, or you know a woman who does, you'll want to watch every second of our show. Now, without further ado, let me introduce to you the person who's going to lead our panel discussion, Susan Lupien. Susan?
Thanks, Cheryl. But before the women who are going to participate in this discussion enter the room, let me give you a little preview of what we're going to try to accomplish today, because we definitely have an agenda. Each of the women you're going to meet suffers from hair loss herself. What we'd like to know is a little bit about their personal history with hair loss, how they feel about their hair loss, what kinds of experiences they've had, what kind of reactions it can cause in others, that sort of thing. We're also going to explore how they cope with their hair loss, what they do or don't do to mask it, what solutions they may or may not have tried and why. Lastly, we'd like their input on what they'd like to see as a solution. What would make them really happy, short of their own hair growing back in, of course. And finally, we are going to reveal a solution and actually implement it on a couple of the women in the focus group. I think it's going to be a very fascinating and enlightening experience. But enough of me talking. Let's bring in the ladies. Hi, come on in. Come on in and make yourselves comfortable. Welcome. Hi. What we're going to be discussing today is hair loss. Not men's hair loss, which everybody knows about and everybody talks about, but women's hair loss, which very few people know about and almost no one talks about. Why don't we start with how would you describe your hair loss?
I think the best would be to describe it as slow and steady. I've been losing hair now for about 11 years, steadily. And I also have it run in my family. My father's side of the family has very thin hair. But I also, about 11 years ago, started going through bouts of anorexia. And I would go through periods of maybe 6 to 8 months of literally starving myself. So combined with abuse when I had hair, I would spray it, I would mousse it, blow dry it, use curling irons, just real hard abuse with the combination of the hereditary problem and my anorexia. It's just, at this point, I believe, beyond any help.
Well, I have no hair loss as of yet, unfortunate, but I have a major receding hairline, and that will probably definitely cause some hair loss by the receding. I mean, you can see it. My hair is extremely baby fine, but it's just time, it thins out all the time. So I guess there is hair loss, obviously, to keep the thinness, but it's not a patch as of yet. It's just constant receding back.
Well, most people, when they look at me directly, they don't see that I have a hair loss, because most of mine is concentrated back here, and I'm losing it more and more back here. In fact, like my last boyfriend said, you know, oh, you've got male pattern baldness, and you just went into a panic about it. It makes me real self-conscious. I lose hair every day. When I'm under periods of stress, I lose more than usual, but I believe it's partly hereditary.
Yeah, I was diagnosed with breast cancer about 2.5 months ago, so I've known for quite some time that I was going to lose my hair as soon as I started my chemo treatments. So I was, unlike the other girls, I was able to prepare a little bit and just expect it. And also, unlike them, it wasn't a gradual thing. I thought, well, the best thing I could do, because my hair was very long at the time, is just go out and have all my hair shaved off. So it just takes all the anxiety right out of it, and I feel like I have more control. So that's what I did. And I felt like I was going in the Army. I mean, they took the clippers and completely cut my hair all the way back. It was very, very short. And I thought, now when I lose my hair, it won't matter. But it did. It was still devastating. I lost my hair in about 30 minutes' time.
Mine probably was basically just, you know, abusing it, because I used to do the electric roller thing every day, actually like twice a day, in the morning for work, and then come home, shower, and then when I'd go out at night, I'd, you know, have to shower again and, you know, do my hair. But then when I got married and everything, and I was pregnant with my first son, my hair grew in nice and thick. It got very thick and very full. And then I got pregnant again right away with my second son. I had them back to back, and with my second one, I just lost it all. It just like the whole, and it's all on the sides and the top, and it just never has. It hasn't grown back, and it seems like if I can run my hand through my hair, and I can, you know, get a lot of hair out, it'll just fall out. But like the whole back of my head is nice and thick. It's just all on the sides and the top.
When people talk about hair loss, there doesn't seem to be any problem talking about men's hair loss. But why do you think that there's really no discussion about women's hair loss?
Women never discussed it. We would rather wear a hat, which I do, because after all, we're raised, I don't know about anybody else, but your hair is your crowning glory. And I always, you know, when I started getting gray, I was like 25 or 30. I started bleaching my hair, you know, and dyeing my hair a lot. Because it was so important to have your hair look so good. Women never talked about it. I don't have one friend who tells me that she's losing hair. And I don't talk about it much either.
People are insensitive.
Yes,
Most
because
people
it doesn't affect them.
Especially if they have a great head of hair, they feel it can never happen to them, or they don't know anyone. It becomes like something so rare that it's unheard of if they have never come across anyone who have that problem.
what really happens when you go out there, what really happens in your relationships, what really happens with your friends, and how do you cope with your hair loss and people's reactions to you? Anybody?
It's embarrassing, like if you go into a new hair salon and to get your hair cut, and then, you know, they look at you and they'll say, well, what happened to your hair? Yeah. Then you have to go through the whole, you know, story as to, you know, what you feel happened to your hair. And then you ask them, do you think Rogaine will help me? And then it's like they make you feel bad because they, no, I don't think anything will help you.
Yeah, it's very embarrassing. If I'm in a place where people are sitting behind me, I'm very self-conscious. So sometimes I'll wear a hat. I have some beautiful caps.
At night, you know, if I'm leaning against the chair and my hair comes up hard, and then it just really upsets me.
Now I want to talk about what the biggest problem that you find your hair loss causes you. You know, what changes in your life has it made? You know, what is the biggest problem that your hair loss has caused you? Anybody? What about you, Arta? Did it affect the way you felt as a woman?
Not the way I feel as a woman, but I feel unattractive. I'm like embarrassed. I feel very self-conscious of my hair. And, you know, it's like, it's just very embarrassing to me. And I'm always like, I'll check, you know, to make sure that, you know, it's in place. And, I mean, I could look in the mirror and I could just see all the thinning spots. It's very thin on top. It's just totally embarrassing to me. We don't go out that much.
How many of you have tried wigs? What was good about a wig and what was not so good about a wig?
It's so easy to maintain. There's nothing to really do. You just put it on and you take it off when you come home at night. I have done hair weaving, which is very hard to maintain because you have to keep tightening it and change the hair from time to time. It takes between 2 to 3 months. Plus going to the hairdresser, because if you don't have that magic touch to make it look the way a hairdresser would do, you have to go to the hairdresser also. But then again, it's the price we have to pay for the problem we are faced with. And I think personally, wearing a wig for me, not having, according to what Angela said, not having to deal with insensitive people out there who you have to give explanations to. Instead of being sensitive about the issue that here is someone who has a hair problem and deal with it differently, not everyone is considerate. People do go out of their way to embarrass you too and make it a point to ask the wrong questions, so you know when they are making fun of you or what they are trying to do to your self-esteem.
Found them hot and itchy. I also didn't feel like me. I felt like it wasn't me.
I started wearing wigs, and they were synthetic, and I made mistakes with the first ones. They were either too thick or too hot or the wrong color. And my biggest fear is that I was going to go out and somebody was going to know, but that it would be so obvious that it was a wig. And so that caused more stress on top of the hair loss.
So if there were something that you didn't have to depend on, that was affordable.
And easy.
And easy to manage.
And accessible, I'm sure. Mm-hmm.
You're sure what?
That I would use it all the time.
Okay, I'd like to know what you think cosmetically acceptable hair is. What exactly does that mean?
It's gotta look natural.
What do you mean by looking natural?
So it's not noticeable.
So you can go out in public and not think that everybody's looking at you knowing you're wearing a wig or some kind of piece.
With bonding or any kind of hair replacement, having it entwined into your own hair that you cannot tell the difference, that it's so real, it looks so real that no one can tell that you had a replacement done or your hair is being, you got a bonding done on your head. That it's a perfect look that blends right into your own hair texture. And the only way you can get that is through human hair that blends perfectly with your own hair.
Okay. It's got to feel good, too. It can't feel like you're wearing a hat or something like that. I mean, because nobody wants to be outside in the sun and just feel like you're wearing something on your head. It's got to be light, it's got to be airy, it's got to be natural.
Got to be able to handle action.
There's so many cute modern cuts, and you want to stay up with the fashions, and I mean, hair's one way to make a statement to do that.
Well, is it okay for a woman to have vanity?
Absolutely.
And ego?
Of course. If we didn't have vanity, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be struggling with our hair loss. We wouldn't care.
Is change part of growth? Is change good?
Yes.
I think it's good.
Change can be very, very good because it can also open up a side of you that you really didn't know existed because you're keeping yourself back in the cozy area. So sometimes it's good to try change.
Mm-hmm. I think change is very good.
If you don't make changes, then you don't make improvements, and there's no way to better yourself unless you're willing to change.
I mean, it's about evolution. We're all changing anyway. You know, you change your look, you're getting older, you change your lipstick or the kind of clothes you wear. Yeah, change your men, change your job. I mean, those are positive changes. And I'm all for positive changes. But, of course, when my hair started to fall out, that was a negative change. And that, again, I changed how I dressed, what I wore, my hairstyle, everything.
Change is great if you have control over it. Something like hair loss where you have no control over it, I mean, you know, that causes anxiety and panic. But when we have control over our change, that's, I think, what makes us feel good. I mean, to be able to go out and, you know, buy a great, you know, outfit or something like that, that makes us feel good about ourselves. Or, you know, to go to the beauty salon and get our hair done, you know, so we feel good, you know. And feeling good on the outside, I think, you know, helps us feel good on the inside. And we have, you know, we can have a lot of great stuff on the inside to share with people, but the first impression they get from us is what they see on the outside. So we kind of need that to put our foot in the door there and, you know, so we can show them who we are.
Now, we've been talking about hair loss, and we've been talking about how you feel about hair loss. We've talked about some of the solutions you've tried, and now we're about to learn about a new solution. The name of the new solution is the Graduated Enhancement Method. The Graduated Enhancement Method adds just as much hair as you need. No more, no less. In fact, there are different graduated enhancement hair replacements to correspond to the various levels of hair loss. In that regard, graduated enhancement is very similar to some of the more advanced men's hair loss solutions. But one thing about this you can be sure is that graduated enhancement really is a solution for women's hair loss. In fact, it was designed totally with women in mind. The hair is incredibly beautiful. The hair is real human hair. It's inserted into very lightweight, ultra lightweight meshes and screen prosthetics. And we think that once you see what it looks like, you'll all agree that it's really incredible. So, anybody got any ideas on how we might let you see how it looks like? Anybody? Can you think of how we might show you what the graduated enhancement looks like?
Let's do it.
Well, actually, we have a little confession to make because there are 3 ladies in this group, Kathy, Angie, and Arda, who've already had graduated enhancement hair replacement prepared for them. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take Kathy and Angie and Arda out of here, and they're going to have the graduated enhancement procedure applied. And while they're gone, we're all going to have lunch. It's going to take a little bit over an hour. So we're going to have lunch, and as for the 3 of you, we'll see you later.
While the ladies are being made over, I'd like to call your attention to the phone number that should be appearing at the bottom of your screen right now. You'll want to write this number down because this is the number to call to get more information on the fabulous graduated enhancement method you're about to see. Now, why would you want to write down a phone number to get information about something you haven't seen yet? Because when you do see graduated enhancement, you're going to be absolutely knocked over by how great it looks. But due to the time limitations of the show, we're not going to be able to give you much detail on how it could actually work for you, given your particular type of hair loss. So to see how terrific graduated enhancement actually looks, stay tuned. But to find out all the facts, call this number and you'll be sent an information packet that tells all. Now, back to Susan.
Okay, so we're back from lunch. Are you guys ready to see how Angie, Artie, and Kathy look?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to go get them. Here they are.
Oh my God.
clue as to what I look like. So.
Wow. Oh, you look, it's fabulous.
Oh, my God. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Wonderful.
I know my husband and my children said it's beautiful.
It
so.
is.
I don't know. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Arda,
Let's see, Arda.
Oh, it's great. Thank you. Oh, it is very good.
Oh, wait till you see it.
I can't wait.
Okay. Before we go any further, let me tell you a little bit about what you're seeing. The graduated enhancement hair replacement is not a machine-made wig. It's not a one-of-a-kind, one-size-fits-all solution. Each of these women had their own individual hair loss problem. And the graduated enhancement hair replacement that was applied to each of them was designed to make full use of their existing hair, using it as a base upon which to add new hair. Also, it's not a standard wig, and each graduated enhancement procedure can utilize a variety of attachment methods, including semi-permanent attachment methods.
It looks beautiful. You look 10 years younger.
I'm very impressed. Very impressed.
Like a whole new people. I mean, hair makes a difference, as we said earlier, that women, sometimes we put so much emphasis on our hair. But if you look at the before and the after, the personality that you see inside comes right through all the way. Not meaning that hair is that important, but the look gives the full body of the soul, without a doubt. The beauty that you talked about earlier, Arda, you can see it in your eyes.
Thank you.
You really can.
Oh, they all look great. I'm just like models.
I'm just in awe. I think it looks perfectly natural. You can't even, you would never know. You would never know if you were to walk out in public. You never know. It looks perfectly natural. Beautiful.
They have the perfect hairdo for their face. I would never know. They all look gorgeous. Youthful, their eyes are sparkling, they look like they feel happy. Makes a big difference.
How does it feel to be on your hair? With your hair on your head, how does it feel?
It just
Feels natural?
Completely natural, just like I have my hair back. Yeah.
Yes, they are all real hair. Absolutely.
I mean, I can touch it myself, and it just feels like hair.
It is hair. It's gorgeous. But it just fits your face so perfectly.
So when are we next?
So my question to you is, do you consider this to be cosmetically acceptable hair? Is it naturally appearing?
Yes. You can't tell that it's made up. You cannot see anything. It looks very natural.
The hairlines are very natural. It looks really, really good.
To those of you who actually had the graduated enhancement, I'd like to know if you think this is something you'd like to continue with after this meeting. What about you, Arda?
Yes, I would. I'm sure from the comments that I got from, from the ladies here, as well as from my husband and my children, yes, I think I would like to continue it.
Oh, what did your husband and children say?
They were like in shock, in total shock. They were just elated over it. They just couldn't believe how beautiful it looked.
And how do you feel?
I feel great.
Oh, you should have seen her husband. I mean, he was looking at her like a schoolboy. He was all smiles, and she was trying to tell him something and show him my hair, and he didn't care at all. He just couldn't take his eyes off of her.
Well, Angie, is this something you'd like to continue after this meeting?
Definitely. Yeah, I'd love to see it, but I can just tell it just feels natural.
Okay. And what about you, Kathy?
What I like most about it is that it's the flexibility. You can change the styles around and, be able to wear it any way you like.
All right. Now comes the moment of truth. Are you curious about what you look like? We know how you feel. Are you curious, Arda, as to why your husband was so starstruck?
Extremely curious.
All right, Arda, we have a mirror here. We're going to pass this mirror to you and let you take a look at yourself so you can see what you look like and what everybody else is reacting to, okay?
Okay.
No tears for beauty there.
Wow. I love it. Oh, I love it. It's gorgeous.
You feel back to yourself?
Yes, it's beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. Oh, I love it.
Oh my gosh. It is my exact color. I never thought they would get the color exactly. It's beautiful. I love it.
You want to give it back?
Gosh, no. I'll never get it back now.
You're right.
Gorgeous. Oh my. Unbelievable. Oh, it's beautiful. Really. I love it.
While they were being done, we never got to see what
They never got to see what they looked like. It wasn't until we passed the mirror to them now.
It's beautiful.
So for those of you who didn't have the process, what about it? Do you think you'd be interested in this graduated enhancement for yourselves?
Me?
Well, Linda, I see you waving your hand and you're jumping at the bit before, so why?
Look at the look. The love in their eyes. Their eyes are back full. They feel like the woman that they felt that they lost by losing their hair. And they're back. You can see it in their eyes, and they've got the confidence. It's hard to say. It's like we want to say that our hair doesn't make us, but our hair helps make us.
Definitely. I'm impressed with the texture. The wig that I wear, the texture of the hair seems kind of coarse and fake looking, but this is just wonderful. I can't wait to try it myself.
Is this the solution to your hair loss problem? Is this the solution you've been looking for?
It is for me.
It is.
Why?
I just feel like my natural self.
How does it compare to a wig? You've worn a wig, right?
It's so much lighter. It feels so much more natural. It looks more natural. The color's more natural. I mean, it just feels better, and I just feel like I have, real hair.
So you like this better than anything else you've done?
Definitely, there's no comparison.
That's the best testimony.
Okay, well, I see that our time is running out. So, are there any other comments anybody would like to make? No. Okay, well, then let me thank you very much for all participating. Thank you for your comments and your insights and sharing your personal experiences with us. And I want you all to have a very good day. And thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
Well, that was quite a revealing and rewarding glimpse into some real women who cope with the real problems of women's hair loss. Susan, can you hear me? You did a wonderful job.
Thank you. It was a very interesting focus group. In fact, it was one of the better ones I've ever been involved with.
Now, let me ask you one question. We saw and heard from all these different women with different hair loss problems and different personal experiences. Is there anything common to the group?
I'd say they're all very unhappy with their hair loss. I mean, obviously, otherwise why would they even participate in the group? Another commonality, I'd say that they're looking for a new solution, something better than's been offered before, something to correct the problem.
Well, I hope they feel that the graduated enhancement method is something newer and something better. Thank you, Susan. You were great.
Thanks, Cheryl.
And I hope you at home feel the graduated enhancement method is a newer, better, smarter approach to correcting women's hair loss. Graduated enhancement is the state-of-the-art in women's hair replacement. As you just saw, its natural, looks like it's growing appearance is remarkable. Those women who had the graduated enhancement hair replacement applied looked fabulous, and I'm sure you'll agree. But what about you? How would you look and feel about the graduated enhancement method for yourself? It's a good question. And since graduated enhancement offers solutions tailored to specific individualized cases of hair loss, you'd probably want to know specifically what they could do for your particular condition. Fair enough. To get more information on graduated enhancement, you just have to call the number that's been running below me here, and an information packet will be sent to you right away. There's no obligation and nothing to buy, and the information is completely confidential. So why not answer the questions that you have and find out more about what graduated enhancement can do for you? It's like I said earlier, seeing graduated enhancement as you did on the show is only part of the story. To get all the facts, because there's too much to tell you here, you really should send for an information packet. You can call right now, no matter what the hour, and someone will answer the phone and send you your graduated enhancement method information packet right away. That's all the time we have for today, so I thank you for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed our show. And I hope you make that call. Goodbye, and be well.
Call 1-800-625-4240 to receive your free graduated enhancement information packet from EHR Center. There's no obligation, and all information will be sent to complete confidentiality. You can call right now, and one of our customer service representatives will speed an information packet to your home. Call 1-800-625-4240 1-800-625-4240. That's 1-800-625-4240 for EHR Center and your free Graduated Enhancement Method information packet.
The Graduated Enhancement Method. Forget wigs, forget hair extensions, forget chemicals. Graduated Enhancement can work for you because it works with every type of hair loss. It's an individual solution to a very personalized problem. The Graduated Enhancement Method. It brings out the beauty you've always had.